Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So the first question from Badger Wolf, and he says, do you work with American clients? And yes, I do. I work with American clients, Italian clients, German clients, from all over the world, except from Sweden actually. And that's where I'm from. I don't know why. So any Swedish clients, please contact me if you would like to learn the muscle up faster. And Tonic asks, would it be, could you break down the muscle up transition step by step? It's a very tricky part. And yeah, that's a really good question. So let's get into it right away. So as you can see here, the transition is from here to here. So even if it can feel tricky, it's quite easy in a way, or simple maybe. It's not easy, but it's a simple step. So as you can see here, I'm pulling as I'm about to swing back, and that is actually a important thing in the muscle up transition, because if you're pulling too early, let's say you're pulling right about here, so you haven't finished your top of the swing yet, so you're pulling before you're starting to swing back, it's very hard to get over the bar. The transition will be much harder. So the first thing in the transition is actually to be able to wait a little bit. As you can see here, I'm waiting a little bit before I'm pulling up. So reaching the top of the swing here, waiting a little bit, and then pulling up with the elbows facing forward. And then from here, I'm just rowing the bar towards me. So I'm pulling, so I'm rowing the bar towards the waist almost. That's the feeling. So here was my recent trip to Spain when I worked on my rows. So you need a strong row for the muscle up to be easy for you. So let's take a look at the row from the side angle. So as you can see here, I'm pulling as I'm about to swing back with my elbows facing forward. And from here, I'm initiating the row. So I'm rowing the bar towards me. See it once again, waiting a little bit in the backswing. And then from here, I'm rowing the bar towards me. So there's tension in the row all the way from here. Here I initiate the row, and then I'm rowing, rowing, rowing until the bar is at the waist. Coming down, waiting a little bit, rowing. So this is the key to the transition, a strong row and good timing. And that will make you have a very smooth transition. And another really important thing is the grip. If your hands are sticking to the bar when you're doing muscle ups, they are much harder on the joints. So as you can see here, my hands are rotating as I am transitioning over the bar. And that is what we want. And during my years of doing muscle ups, I have tried so many different gloves, but the gloves right here are, my all-time favorites, and you can see me using them in every video. And I'm also selling these gloves, so if you would like to buy them, there's a link in the description below. And why I like these so much is that you don't want the hands to stick, and you don't want them to be too slippery either. So somewhere in between, and they're not too thick either, because you don't want to lose the contact with the bar. So as you can see here, my hands are rotating as I am rotating, and that will help your muscle ups a lot. So that's a strong recommendation from me, just investing in these gloves. Do you stiff your legs while doing muscle ups or keep it relaxed? So the way I teach the muscle up is just relaxing everything from the waist down, and you can see that it makes the muscle up much smoother. So what we want is the legs to follow the upper body. And that happens when you relax everything from the waist down. As you can see here, the legs are following the path of my upper body. So when I'm here in the dip position, I want my legs to be straight under me, or actually a little bit behind me. This is the optimal position for the legs to be in. When you're tensing the legs will always be in front of you. And for me, that's not as clean as a clean muscle up as when you relax the legs. When you swing out, do you lean back before you initiate the pull? Great question. So actually, no. I'm just pulling straight up and rowing the bar towards me. So I'm not trying to lean back or anything like that. I'm pulling in the backswing. Let's take a look from this angle as well. So small swing forward, waiting a little bit. Timing is crucial. And I'm not leaning forward. I'm not leaning back. Sorry. I'm just pulling straight up and then rowing the bar towards me. What do you consider to be harder, 5 muscle ups or a 5 second front lever? I would say it depends on your height. I'm 190 centimeters tall or 6 feet 2. And for me, the front lever has always been the hardest. I tried to achieve it, but the muscle up, the muscle up was much easier for me. But if you're shorter, I think the front lever is much, much easier and maybe even easier than muscle ups. I don't know. What do you think? Tell me in the comments what you think is easier, muscle ups or front levers. And as always, I also want to emphasize the explosive pull of the muscle up, which is, one of the more important parts of it. And you can only, be better with that by doing weighted pull-ups. That is my number one tip to be able to explode over the bar. So I'll train these once per week, and for me that's enough. And I'll do around, let's say, 5 to 8 repetitions for 2 or 3 sets, depending on how I feel. And my recommendation is try to work up to half of your body weight for reps. And I'm doing so-called pin pull-ups here. So I'm relaxed at the bottom position and I'm resetting between each rep. And I'll train these, as I said, once per week, and I'll train muscle ups once per week. And I think that's the perfect recipe for not, burning out or injure yourself, and to make great progress in your muscle up journey. And I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers, so I'm almost there. So if you would like to help me with that, please consider subscribing and also liking this video. That helps me a lot. And I hope you like the content, guys. Feel free to ask me any muscle up questions you have, and I will answer them in a video just like this. Take care, guys, and I see you soon.